ordering some groceries to be delivered to the house. They're ordering some groceries to be delivered to the house. Twinkle texted me. He's like, they're ordering some groceries to be delivered to the house. Twinkle texted me. Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries to be delivered to the house. Twinkle texted me. Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries to be delivered to the house. Twinkle texted me. Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries to be delivered to the house. Twinkle texted me. Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries to be delivered to the house. Twinkle texted me. Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries to be delivered to the house. Twinkle texted me. Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries to be delivered to the house. Twinkle texted me. Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries to be delivered to the house. Twinkle texted me. Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries to be delivered to the house.
Audio.
Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries.
It doesn't sound good. Audio.
Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries.
It doesn't sound good. Audio.
Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries.
It doesn't sound good. Audio.
Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries.
It doesn't sound good. Audio.
Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries.
It doesn't sound good. Audio.
Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries.
It doesn't sound good. Audio.
Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries.
It doesn't sound good. Audio.
Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries.
It doesn't sound good. Audio.
Ordering groceries. Ordering some groceries.
It doesn't sound good. Audio.
Ordering groceries.
Boy, that sounds crazy, doesn't it? Sound good. Audio.
Ordering groceries.
Okay, let's see. How does that sound? Let's see. Does that sound better? Ooh, yeah, I think so. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. I had to turn on YouTube on my cell phone to see what you guys were hearing. So, yeah. Okay. Lord have mercy. Sorry, guys. I was ordering some groceries and I let time get away from me. But I'm playing around streaming on 2 computers at the same time. Like, I have one up that's doing OBS. And then my other one, which is my Word, I have Windows computer, that has all my Word documents and stuff like that on it. And that's on another computer. But I have the brand new computer screen capturing what I'm doing on my other computer, if that makes any sense. But that way I'm not streaming and managing documents on the same computer. We're hoping that this setup works a whole lot better than what I had before. Anyway, thanks guys for coming in and hanging out with me today. I have my camera set up here too so that we can go through the book and look up things if y'all need to. But for now, we have a circumcision question up. Y'all want to work on this one right here? You don't need to purchase a 2026 book if you are doing your certification exam this month, but I do recommend that you actually come over here to my website and you come over here to let me see. We're going to go to notes and replays, which is way down here. We're going to go to notes and replays. Yep. When you get to notes, you're going to get to this page right here and this one right there. Let me show you. Let me scoot this over a little bit. This one right here, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 one that's on this page that pops up. It says turn my 2025 book into a 2026. It's a $25 document. Highly recommend. You are going to get a document that will go through this entire CPT book, tell you which codes have been deleted that you just cross out, and give you a guide and have you write in the new codes that are new for 2026, which we have some in cardiovascular, radiology, and male genitalia. Some of them just have updated descriptors that are updated from last year, and then some of them are going to be brand new codes for this year. I wonder what's wrong with that camera. Turn that off and turn that back on. See if that helps. And this will have you guys actually write in the new codes and the descriptor for your certification exam. So we had a lot of new codes for the male genitalia section this year. They now have out-of-code sequences, and they've never had any out-of-code sequences before, but we do have some new codes for the male genitalia, and you'll need that document right there to change this book into a 2026 book, which you can do it. It's not that big of a deal. I've done it in a 2025 book. I think I sent it to Go-Kart, that manual, but I've had 1 year where I did not recommend it and I made everybody get a new book, but this is not the year. This is okay. I was able to add in all the new codes without too much struggle. And then this will prevent you from having to buy a new book. Yeah, the sound might go away when I'm pointing out stuff in my book because I have to turn my face away from the microphone to face my camera, and I'll talk to the IT director about moving the camera again because he moved it to the L side of my desk. Like my desk is an L side, where he took this camera and he moved it way on the far corner over there, and I have to turn my face away from the microphone to deal with the book. I sound like a robot. Okay, let me. Sounds pretty good to me on YouTube. What do you mean I sound like a robot? Sounds pretty good to me on YouTube. What do you mean I sound like a robot? I'm listening to the replay live on my cell phone. Listening to the replay live on my cell phone. I don't know how to turn on captions. I have no idea how to do that. I know they put that in the replay. YouTube automatically adds that at the end. It's freezing up. Hmm. It sounds It sounds good to me on my YouTube replay. I mean, I'm pausing some of my conversation. Like I'm pausing. Word. Let me put on my headphones. Y'all don't have to listen, but I can listen to my replay. Okay, so now I can listen to my replay audio in my headset, and y'all don't have to hear it on my cell phone. But I am talking like I am pausing for like a half a second in between some of the words, so it does sound a little automated because I'm not sure what I'm going to say. Okay. All right, guys. Let's start working on question number 106. What do you guys think is your correct answer? How would you handle this question? I'm moving the microphone around and adjusting things. I see modifiers in 2 of the available answers. And then I see 2 answers that are in different sections of the CPT book, which might make a difference. C has all 3. Yeah, if I turn my face just the little bittiest bit around, I lose audio for sure. I'm going to switch up and put chat on a different computer because I am, that is not where I have it set up on a different screen, is not where I need it. I can't see it there without moving my head away from the mic. All right. And only leave it up on this computer. There we go. That way I don't have to leave. There we go. The microphone. All right. I still don't see a correct answer for number 106 in chat. We have a circumcision with an adjacent tissue transfer. I'm knocking the microphone around. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Travis, I'm streaming. What? Travis is yelling at the door. I have on my headphones. Sorry. I couldn't hear him. And then I'm screaming in y'all's ear. And I couldn't hear him. And then I'm screaming at him so he can hear me. And then, oh my God. Oh, Lord. What in the. All right. So if you look at in your alphabetical index at adjacent tissue transfer, what does that tell you your code has to be? And then if you know anything about where circumcisions are, what does that tell you your code has to be? Yep, be careful. One little O sentence, and this one's totally different. Yes. All right, 107. Let's work on that one. Here. I'm going to cause us some issues. Just a second. Let's see. I have custom margins, don't I? I still want it smaller, I think. Okay, it's not going to let me do it anyway. Go card, I can see the question on my screen. So I'm not sure why you, other than be sure you are tapping the screen. You've changed your replay, right? To quality, to a higher picture quality, and you're changing it to 1080, right? Let's see. Trying to make it bigger for you. Let's see. That better, go-kart? Audio is killing me. All right, I hit a button. Let's see if that makes any difference with audio. No, I'm still going in and out, sort of, kind of. It's really having a hard time picking up. But I think visually you should be able to see the question a little bit better. I just need to get the audio working a lot better. Hey, thanks for joining the Medical Coding Club. Hopefully that membership now that Kay has full access to all of the book prep videos and the workshop replays and the duck classes. Hope that helps out a whole bunch. Sorry. What do you guys think is your answer for 107? How would you do this one? When I'm looking at this one, I see that 3 of our available answers all have modifiers. Before I even read anything in my question, that's what I see. And then I see 1 available answer that only has 1 code and no modifier. What's more likely AAPC's correct answer? Heather's got it right. Also, they are testing you to see if you know where this coding tip is at, right? Sorry, my freaking phone and this 5 o'clock timer. That all of your cystoscopes include a uroscope and a polyscope. All these things are all included in the one original code. Indeed, C is your correct answer. All right, what about this one? What do you notice when you first look at your available answers. We see more modifiers, right? 51, 51, 51, and 26. If I look at my last sentence, what are they asking me to code? They're not asking me to code for provider services of just interpretation and review, right? So I know, because my sentence is not written like that, sorry, I can't listen to my own audio and playback. It's driving me nuts. I can't do that. But anyway, hopefully the audio stays okay, but I got to take off my headphones because I can't talk and listen to the replay at the same time, because then I can't finish a sentence. Anyway, because this last sentence isn't asking me to only code for the interpretation of a specific study, then I know D cannot be my correct answer. They would change the last sentence to say that we're only going to code for interpretation. If they do that, then our answer could be 26. But because our last sentence doesn't say anything about just only billing for interpretation, then I know that that particular available answer cannot be a correct answer. Kind of helpful to notice. And my differences between these answers, right? Am I a 26 or a 41? These two answers do not have a 41 in them. And then these two answers that have the 26, this one does not have a 26. In common, they both have the 97 in them. You know, some of those other numbers, they're in both. So I don't really want to look up that one. I want to look up the ones that are different, that are unique to each available answer. There's our 26. And then if I look up my 41, she's down here. This one's doing a cystometrogram. This one's doing Euroflow meter. It's a different meter. Which one did we do in our exam question? We did Euro. So we know we have the 41 in our needed available answer is what we're going to need, right? So we know our answer is C with this one. Oh, camera. Nope, no way. Our correct answer is going to be C again. Everybody get that one? All right, number 109. Did we do 1 or 2 procedures? This one doesn't have a header or anything. But we do have that he was admitted for this. So if I wanted to look in my alphabetical index, I could go to OR. A, B, C, D. ORCH. We'll go to that word and look through its available answers. And we do have the one word simple right there. And it tells us that our correct answer has to be 54520. That means our correct answer is anytime you're going to explore anything, that is always included in a removal. They are just testing to see if you know that that is a known guideline in your CPT book. It would just be one procedure. Probably too low on that one. Bring it up just a little bit. There we go. RT is included in every single answer, so we don't have to worry about that one. Let me move this camera. Let's see. We can't get camera, book, and microphone all in a good location so I can do all this at the same time. Boy, the camera is like freaking out on me. Now I need to move it back a little bit so it's not filming my lap. All right. A little better. And then I'm right here at the microphone. That sucker back up there where it's supposed to go. Thanks for putting up with me while I move stuff around. Adjust. The video at the very bottom of the camera view is like all wonky. Let's see if John has time to come in. And then I had to move the camera back over here because every time I put my face over here, they couldn't hear me. So I can't move from this. So I need my camera here. And then see how the bottom of the video is doing that thingy. Yeah, what's that about? I can turn it off and turn it back on, and it goes away for a second, but then it comes back. Oh, that's better. Trying to watch on my stream. See what they're seeing. Oh, much better. Yay. Okay. Yeah, if I turn that way to look, or even my face moves away from this mic at all, they can't hear me. So do I have it in the right position? Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. That way we can be in the book and have our audio working at the same time. All right, perfect. All right, for 110, this one is not D. I can at least tell you that much. What did we do today in this one? We sized this. So if we go to our book and we go to excision, right? We go to excision. Put up there. Excision. Hydrocele. Tells us our answer has to be the 40 or the 41. That lets us know that we can get rid of C and D if you go to your index in the back of your CPT book. And all I did was go to excision and that hydrocele. Yep. Yes. And then B is our correct answer. Perfect. Excellent. How's the audio so far? Is it getting any better? If I just stay put in this one location, it sounds okay. Ooh, I moved too much around for this. I talk with my hands and everything, so it's all good. Thanks, Powers. All right, what did we do for 111 here? What's our procedure? Here's our body part. There we go. Tells us we're an 85 or a 530-20, which we only have one answer with one of those codes, which is B. But if you look at the available differences between those CPT codes, you may get confused, right? So this is where I knew we were urethra. Yep. Perfect. Let me move that one down. the word clamp. What did we do today? And then down there. And then we're not doing an insertion or removal. We're not doing a repair. We're doing a replacement. So that tells us our answer has to be the 10, the 11, 16, or 17. Not very helpful. We still have to go to our 544. What are these codes? Differences between our 11 and our 17. "17" is non-inflatable. Number 11 is inflatable. This one can also be, non-inflatable, semi-rigid, or inflatable. It can be all of it. This one is doing a removal and replacement. Number 11 is doing a removal and replacement also. But this one's going to be a multi-component. And 17 through an infected field, where 11 also doing an infected field. "17" is self-contained. If we added in the 11004, that's to bereavement, and we don't have any mention of that. If you're going to use the code 11, you have to see the word in your exam question multi-component. Anything that is not multi-component is going to be your number 17 for the self-contained, non-multi-component. This one does not say it's a multi-component, so that's why the answer is B for this one. Be sure your notes on the 11 say that it is multi-component and that you know that you've got to have that said in the exam question for you to be able to pick it. That's the more important part of it, is it must say multi-component. If it's not multi-component, then your answer is going to be the 17. Mm. All right, let's move on to number 13. ICD-10. I'm sure all of you are going to get this one right. I think we've done this one before. Eight is usually NEC. So I'm just talking about that digit. So it's got to be R1 or 2, one of those. We go to our alphabetical index in our ICD-10 book. It'll tell you what the code is right after your non-essential modifiers, which is due to infection. A lot easier than looking up all the different codes and the descriptions in the tabular list. Well, I wish the volume of the audio would just stay consistent. That's driving me nuts. All right. What about this one? Number 114. Where are we at? trying to play around with the audio sensors to see if I can figure out what little filter he has picked here to change it. Thank you for the 8 likes. I know we have 17 people watching. If we were looking at this one, I would go straight to the alphabetical index and go to hysterectomy. What kind of hysterectomy did we do? We did vaginal. So I'd go down to vaginal. What else do I need to know? We did with bilateral. And uverectomy. Removal of tubes and ovaries. Directing us to 62, 63, 91, 92, 52, 54. Could at least get rid of the 90, so I know my answer's not C with that. The video is dragging. Sorry, Caesar. Anna. This one is D. Good job, guys. All right, you guys work on this one while I work on audio. Okay. I deleted all the filters. Let's see if this sucker's still working. Ooh. That sounds terrible. I hear like a little crackly sound, but at least it's not going in and out. Much better by far. Not terrible at all, but yeah, it sounds more consistent. Okay. Yeah, let me know if this sounds a lot better or not. I think I can hear my air conditioning or whatever in the background, but I can definitely hear me moving around in the chair. All right. The first thing I notice in this question is we have modifiers. and then only one does not have a modifier. What did we do today? We did a removal. Radical with lymphatic tissue tells us our answer is, and we only have one answer with that code in it. Thanks, Go-Kart. You like the index? It's good. Sometimes it's hard though because they don't have a header in them and telling you exactly what you did, so that you got to go find it in your question. What did we do? We only have two answers with any of those codes in them, just C and B. So that's helpful. Would it be likely that we would have two codes versus one? So I went to here and here. Indeed, B. Good job. Yep. Good job. Given away 5 memberships. I gave away 10 yesterday. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me for today, for participating in the live and trying to get the audio and stuff working right. You're welcome. We'll do this till y'all get tired tonight, and then we'll do another one tomorrow. What did we do today? Wonder if we can just look up body part. Let's see. We already got a copy of the 2027 ICD-PA
PCS book. It must be out because I got a code for VitaSource. So it won't be long. We'll be getting new CPT books in, September, October? Don't worry, the certification exam will not change to the new 2027 codes till 2027, January 1st. All right. Let's see. What do we do to our cervix? We cauterized. With cryotherapy. That gives me my 57511. And then what else did we do? We did a hysteroscope. But I know my answer's got to have an 11 in it. So I know my answer can't be A or C. What'd I do with the hysteroscope? We did an ablation. Yep, and that tells us our other code has to be a 58563. Sorry, guys. I gotta get used to this camera position. You take your exam Thursday. These questions are the most difficult. I picked only the ones that were difficult. So I have like a pool of questions over 1,000, and because I have the license from aapc, and I only pulled the difficult ones. They take each question and they give it a skill level, and they have 3 different skill levels: easy, moderate, and difficult. And all of everything that I'm doing yesterday and today, these are all difficult. So when you take your exam, you know that you'll have 6 in each CPT section. 6 in OBGYN, the 50,000s, 6 in the 40,000s, 6 questions in the 30,000s, which could be respiratory or cardiovascular. Only 2 of those 6 will be difficult. 2 of them will be moderate, and then 2 of them will be easy. That's how they stagger their exam questions. So just so you know, what we're doing is the worst of the worst questions. And your exam will not have nothing but the worst of the worst.
Best of luck. You got to let me know how you do. I hope this helps. What did we do today? Due to cancer, it'll be a highfalutin code. They also did a creation of an iliac conduct partial colectomy. That's a really difficult one because what do they call that procedure in your alphabetical index? Like, I know where the hysterectomies are, and it's going to give me a whole bunch of codes, but this second procedure that we did, that might be like one specific code number that I could go look and just look for the answer that has that number in it because it's so specific. What do they call creation of an iliac conduit and a partial colectomy during a hysterectomy? What do they call that? It's a radical surgical procedure that involves the complete removal of all the organs and structures from a body cavity. Because, right, we're removing a total abdominal hysterectomy with all the ovaries, everything. We're doing a cystectomy, we're removing the bladder, we're removing everything. Her colon, her iliac duct. Trying to remember how to spell it. My spelling is awful. EX. It's like, it's not evisceration, but it's I'm stuttering here. I know it's something EX. I gotta go look through this. Here it is. Ooh. It was in the orbital eye section, right? We were removing everything and all around it. All the kind of stuff. It's something like that. It's a eccenteration. Yeah, that one. Like in the eyeballs. I don't know if y'all remember this. There's 3 eyeball surgeries in the beginning of the chapter, right? Evisceration. It's got a V. This one's enucleation. And then this one is EXE. Enteration, exenteration. That's what I was looking for. It's removing, it's really radical. It's because there's cancer. We're removing a whole bunch of stuff. That's what I was looking for. But this actually ends up being not orbit, but pelvis. All the organs, any kind of complete removal of all organs and structures in that abdominal cavity. So if we're doing the hysterectomy, then we're going to remove everything else that's around that abdominal cavity right there. So we're in the pelvis cavity, actually. So this is going to have to include a 26, a 97, or a 40. I don't know, is this helpful? 26 is not listed. 97 is not listed, but the 40 is. $282.40 is only does that mean this is all going to be one code? Could be. I bet it could. I bet it does. I thought it was going to be a secondary code to go along with the hysterectomy, but maybe it is D. 582, let me go look it up. 582. Because if we're removing all the other organs too, just scoop it all out. 8240. So, if we're doing a pelvic exenteration for gynecological malignancy, total abdominal hysterectomy is included. Cervix, yep. Tubes, ovaries, yep. Bladder, that's that cysto, right? Urethra, peritoneal, rectum, colon, and yep. Or any combination thereof. Wrong way. Yep. What's more likely? AAPC's answer, just looking at the available answers. Would you have 3 codes, 4 codes, 2 codes, or 1? And if you just using their rationale here without looking up anything, you could probably just guess 1 code and move on with your day. But that's really cool. Code. I don't think I've ever done this question before. Because I was assuming we were going to have that code with something else. But the name of the word is, what was that word again? It's a EX. Enter ENT. And then eration. Like just to erase everything. So when they're trying not to tell you that word in this question, but that's the word we looked up in the alphabetical index. Because I noticed we were moving a bladder, right? And colon. I was like, oh, we're doing that.
word. I keep getting that in my mid-trap. Oh, that's a cool school program. That's CENGAGE. Yeah. Let me go shut my front door. How would y'all attack this question 120? What are y'all doing? I'm kind of looking at the diagnosis codes. I see some have like metastatic cancer in them. Some of them include 2 diagnosis codes. Some of them include 1 diagnosis code. I know we did a hysterectomy and removed all this stuff, but what's our approach? It's not near that. It's up here, transabdominal. Okay. So we're already here. Our pathology came back with that. Just seems to be 1 diagnosis code. So if I get rid of anything that has multiple diagnosis codes, I'm left with just A and C. And A was done with a scope. We know our route into the body was not with a scope.
So you know A can't be it either. Yep. Our answer is C. Many times your question is just asking you on the CPC exam, what was your route into the body? Was it through the skin? Did you go vaginally? Did you do total abdominal? What was your route? And not just for the OB/GYN, for musculoskeletal questions, for sure for your urology questions, route into the body. Take off these headphones. We know with our little trick that anything in the 94s is a vaginal delivery. Anything in the 95s is a C-section. And anything with the 96 in it is they had a C-section on a prior pregnancy. Today we're going to try a vaginal delivery. We may end up with another C-section, but we're going to try. But just knowing that info is really helpful on exam day. So what was the outcome of our babies? Because we do have twins, right? Yep, we got twins. We got one vaginal and one C-section. So we know we're going to have both numbers. So anything that does not have both numbers in it, we can get rid of. This one's just got 94 down twice. We know we can't do that. So you gotta have one of each number. What do you guys think is the answer? Indeed, it is D. I think triplets are on the exam. Last I heard. What about this one? I got 10 of y'all watching and 10 likes. Yay! All right. Oh, I gotta find a charger for my cell phone. He unplugged everything. I don't have any chargers or anything around here. Okay. There we go. We might have two babies, but we only have one mama we can cut on. And so that makes it to where we're only going to have one code for taking two babies, 3 babies, 8 babies. It doesn't matter how many babies. If we took them all by C-section, then we're only billing for one code for cutting open one mama. Very helpful to know that. Yep, excellent. All right, what about 23? Don't second guess yourself. You'll end up getting the wrong answer. Pick your first intuition and move on. Never second guess. They're redoing this entire section next year. We're going to have all new female genitalia area. Going to be all new. Even the beginning of the chapter is going to have some codes rearranged. So please try to pass before the end of this year so you don't have to buy new books, because I'm not sure we can redo the whole entire section with all the changes that are going to be happening next year in this section. So let's pass while it's in its current state. What do you guys think the answer is for 123? What did we do today? Gotta have an 87 or an 88 in our available answer. For at least some of it. So that gets rid of C, right? And D. Okay. What's the other thing that we did? We go to, oops, and then we'll go to repair and cystocele. That tells us our answer has to have a 40 or a 60 in it. Would our answer have 2 codes in it, or would we have 3? What's more likely AAPC's answer? The mesh is included in one of the other procedures, so we don't code it separately by itself. Both answers had the 51 modifier in both, so it wasn't even something I considered worrying about. once I saw that we had to get rid of anything that didn't have 88 in it. All right. It's funny, Amy. Very funny, Amy. All right. What do you guys think? Do we get to bill for this service? We turn the baby around before delivery, but then the baby turned back around, resuming its previous breech position. Does the doctor get to get paid for completing a procedure when it was ineffective? So, our code for this procedure will be a 59412. Now you just have to decide, are you going to code it or not? Or is it part of a global package? Or no, because it was unsuccessful. But he did successfully get the baby to turn. Then the baby just resumed its previous position. Was like, oh, I like the other position. He did the work. He gets to get paid. That's right. There you go. C will be the correct answer for that one. I like it when all the answers are all on one line instead of multiple lines. I noticed that one of our answers has a modifier on the first CPT code. One of the other two answers have modifiers on the second code, and only one of our answers has no modifier at all. This must be the question that Anna was talking about. We only have one answer without any modifiers at all. If we did a vaginal birth after C-section and a trial of labor after cesarean, and then we ended up having to do an immediate hysterectomy due to a ruptured uterus, would we have one OB code diagnosis code wise? Or would we have two codes? It's kind of interesting. Separation between a couple of answers. This code is the same for every single answer. C does not have this one. Do we put reduced services on anything OB and delivery? When you look at this 58150, what kind of code is it? All your OB codes are under two different headers. One of them's female genitalia system, right? And then one of them will be under maternity care and delivery, which is this set of codes. Where would a hysterectomy after delivery be? Would it be underneath these codes under the general health, or would they be exclusively underneath one of these areas? That will help you out in this question. And when they have a plus symbol in front of them, do they need modifiers? Nope. That's why this one is B. Good job. Perfect. Let's see. Can I get this one all in one? Yep. Sure can. What do you guys think is the answer for this one? Carpal tunnel. I got 16 watching and 13 likes. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up little thingy on the little video right there. That is super cool. What did we do today? we took a ligament and we cut into it. We decompressed a nerve. We did this. We found a nerve that was flattened, and underneath the carpal tunnel ligament, we released it. Would that be coded in the musculoskeletal section, or would this procedure be covered under the nervous system? And what body part were we messing with? Definitely not the left. So you can get rid of anything with LT on it. And then just knowing that the procedure was not done on muscles or bone, that it was done on ligaments, nerves, that will let you know that you need to be in this section right here. And A would be your answer. Yep. Yep. If you were doing something with a fractured bone or the muscle, you'd be in the 20,000s. But nerves and ligaments, you're here in the nervous section. And we'll fix it. There you go. Would we add radiology to these codes or not? Two of them have radiology. Two of them do not. Would I ever times the first code, this 93, or do I just add a modifier to it? As for the second code, do I times it, or do I add modifiers to it? That's what I see going on with these. If I need to know what's included in these codes, like radiology, and how to handle the codes, like which ones need modifiers, which ones don't, I wouldn't look in the index for that information. I would run straight to the codes. Every single answer starts off with the 94493, so I would just run there. 644, sorry, not 9. I'm getting dyslexic. On the 10 keypad, you know how the 9 is above the 6? I don't know. It's just so dyslexic sometimes. 944, 9 to 3. Using my handy dandy chart that's given to me right here, it tells us how to handle these. You can see from every single answer that your 93 it's never times 2. There's never a times 2 on it for that 93 code. You can add a modifier to it, but it's never times 2. The only one that we times is the times 2. They do have this lovely paragraph right here that says you only add the modifier 50 to the 90 or 93, and that the 91, 92, 94, and 95 are times by 2. They're just wanting to know if you know where that's at. Yes, the video will not go anywhere. The replay will be the same link. It'll have the same header in it, like circumcision, whatever, and it'll be under the replay of lives. So, like on my website, social media, go to YouTube of the U, right? And then if you're here at my channel, just go to live, and that live will be right there always. Even the replay will be right there. There's the one that I did before, the test, the one from yesterday, which was sinuses, cardio, and digestive practice questions. That's all right there. And then I did some practicode the other day for students. Yep. But, yep, they'll all be right there underneath that live tab. If you were fortunate and you purchased I know somebody purchased it, the membership, or I gifted it to you, you'll have access to the playlist right here where you guys can go through and you can watch the videos for like the book prep, the duck classes. Like you can, don't click on the picture, click on the view full playlist of whatever. If you do that, then you'll get the list of all the videos, which is really cool because then you could pick out which ones you want to watch. These are really excellent videos because I do the worst of the worst questions. The ones you're going to get wrong, even if you do the process of elimination or whatever, there's something going on with these that are crazy. That's what's going on in those duck classes, but that's a cool set. And then we also have all of the CPD book prep videos, all that kind of stuff. The ICD-10 book prep, the workshop videos are all there too. The CPT book prep, yep. It doesn't matter what year they were done. Just if you want to do cardiovascular notes with me, they're right there. If you want to do E&M book notes with me, there's 2 hours right there. So those are all super helpful. It's just better if you go to, instead of clicking on the picture that's the graphics picture, scooch you down to the view full playlist underneath each one, and that is really helpful. And don't forget, over on the side here, like if you are here and you want to look for something, right? Click on the magnifying glass and like type in process. Like if you're looking for process of elimination, it'll bring up every video that's a process of elimination, even the full playlist. But there's also videos that are 1 hour long, 2 hour long, 3 hour long of just process of elimination. You can look for the length of the videos are on there too. But those memberships are great for you guys. And don't forget, you can search for whatever kind of video you're looking for with that little hourglass. And don't forget about all the posts. If you go to the post page, you'll have a bunch of practice questions that you guys can do. I mean, right now you're going to see the answers because I'm logged on as me, but I have a ton of practice questions where you just click on what you think the answer is, and then it'll give you the answer and rationale. If you weren't logged on as me, then you wouldn't see the answers like I do, but there is a ton of really good practice questions right here. Even some that I wrote, Moz's, so many really good practice questions. They're not videos. These are just interactive practice questions. These are really cool. Everybody should have access to that. So be sure and check out that. There's the podcast, which is really cool. And short videos if you want to just do really quick practice questions, 1 video or 1 minute each, those kind of things. Super cool. And as you're watching them, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It really does a lot for me, because every little thumbs up tells YouTube that y'all like the video, which is really cool. I almost have 2,000 videos up. That's crazy. All right, for this question, what did you guys get? Thank you, Amy. I'm so glad you like it. Especially the E and M, I really did like read the sentence as it was written. Like, it's so highfalutin language, and then I just tell you what that sentence means and the way I understand it. It really breaks down. The language is so awful. We don't even use that language in medicine. It's crazy. I don't know how they come up with some of the words they say in those guidelines. No one talks like that. Anyway. This answer is C. Yep. Knowing that you'd never times the 93 is really helpful, and that you don't add radiology to these codes leaves you with only answer C is the possible answer it could be, right? Oh, that's good, Amy. That's awesome. If we're doing number 28, 128 here, if we just look at our code numbers, right, we have 3 of them that start off with the 31. What is more likely? Because every single answer has 2 codes in it, right? What's more likely? The second code that would go with a 31. Would you have a random 72 or a 37 code, or would you have the very next numerical number? What's more likely? How are these codes written? What's normally what you see, right? And if you didn't use a modifier, right, the most normal number that comes right after it is usually an add-on code, right? Just a normal pattern that you see often enough in your books, right? What's more likely, right? If we have an additional digit or nerve or finger that we're going to do 1 or 2 fingers, what's more likely the correct pattern? You guys know more than you think you do, right? You don't have to look up at so much information or run to a ton of codes. Look at the patterns of the actual numbers. What's more likely a correct answer, right? Indeed, D is correct. Do we have a D diagnosis code or a Q diagnosis code? Just knowing what the chapter headers are about is super helpful. If somebody has a syndrome, is that a genetic disorder? Or is that a skin disorder that they develop as a diagnosis? So that helps you get rid of 2 right away. Then all you need to do is look at your 12 and your 64. 8 would be a number 2, like NEC, like that is, I've got too much information and I don't have a correct diagnosis code for it. If we have a diagnosis code for something, it'll probably be a 0.1. I'm just thinking out loud with what I have in front of me. Heather is right. Our answer is B. Heather is going to knock this exam out on Saturday. I think it's Saturday when you're doing yours. You have been getting so many correct. Would we add radiology to these codes, or not radiology, microscope to these codes, or not? You're going to do great, 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 great. LAMI, laminectomy, 1,224. Where did we do it? Lumbar. We had a intraspinal lesion that was evacuated. That is some highfalutin words that they are trying to say without saying what that means. That just means for excision for interspinal lesion. Right? Maybe. Let's see. Other than a neoplasm, because it's not a neoplasm lesion. We don't have any confirmation of that coming back. It just says cystic structure. So you want to stay away from anything called a lesion or neoplasm. So those right here would be a 65 through 68 or a 70 through 73. So with that information, I could get rid of D. I could get rid of B. We did do a microscope, and the only one with microscope in it is A. 93. Where is? There's 95. I swear, I wish I could keep up with this book, but I keep losing it. All right. Uh, 932. 3267. 67, lumbar, lamy, yep. And do we have any information about, if you look at the top of my notes for this section, I have for this whole page, can add this with below if used, which is our micro dissection or microscope. I'll add it to the nervous notes when we can, and when we can't. We do have a whole lot of codes that you can't use it with, and they have a pretty good list of the ones that you can't use it with right underneath it, but they don't really tell you which ones you can use it with. So that's why I like to use it at the top of the page and mark the ones that we can for ease during the exam. I went through and looked at all the codes inside, not Codify, but Encoder before I retired from working in 2024. And I looked up all the nervous section and saw which ones we could use that would have the pass-through one number with it, and made sure we could, I added it to the notes for this section so that we had it for the codes that we could use it with. So I used my last bit of working in real life to do this. But our answer is A for that one. All right. Sorry I missed your message. All right, guys. What about this parathyroidectomy? if we go to hyperparathyroidism, and our default is a 0.3, but our diagnosis does have a little bit more information, which is primary. So they're wanting to know, do you know that underneath hyperparathyroidism, we do have a separation between primary or secondary? And primary is coded with a 0.0. So we can get rid of anything that does not have the 0.0 at the end. That's helpful. Yeah, not easy at all. I'm on page 212 in your 2026 AAPC version of the ICD-10 book. Third column, almost all the way down to the bottom. Right there. Then that just leaves you with 2 CPT codes. What's more likely the answer? The 00 or the 05. The 05 is more expensive because it has more stuff in it. So probably the 00 if I was a gambling woman. But we can quickly go look. See, this one is a re-explore, right? No. Technically, yeah, it's an explore. Thoracic, transthoracic, go through the chest approach. And we didn't go through the chest. Yeah, no way. Yep, our answer is D. Perfect. All right, let's do one more. I'm getting tired, and then we'll do this again tomorrow night, same time, 4:30. Tomorrow's we'll be working on eye procedures. Those are so difficult. Yes, right here on YouTube. Yep. Same place. Infusion pump. In your AMA CPT book, page 1212. We go to spinal cord. That tells us our answer has to have a 67 through a 70 in it. Something like that. Do I have the right codes? Spinal cord, infusion pump, wrong one. It's going to be this one over here with our spinal cord with our 60 and 62. That gets rid of 50 and 67. Then we only need to look either at the diagnose code or go look up the codes. 623. Yes, same time. Like it is 7 o'clock here in Arizona, 7:04. So we'll do it at 4:30 tomorrow. 623, 62. Thank you guys so much for the thumbsies upsies. $62 versus a 60. Ours was a programmable pump, so we know we are B. Yep. And tomorrow we are going to be doing eye procedures and probably ears. Eyes and ears. Today's will stay